it down to them there. This is a player people thought might go in the top 5. Josh Giddey, the Australian, Franz Wagner from Michigan, Moses Moody from Arkansas, all among the choices for Golden State, who also pick at 14. But they're in trade talks too, and can they get perhaps a young rotational player who can come in, who's more ready to help with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, Klay Thompson? But the cost of that is prohibitive, Bobby.
Yeah, well, free agency for Golden State starts tomorrow night during the draft. Because of the luxury tax and their salary cap situation, they are a repeater tax team for the 5 years in the luxury tax. Right now, they are at a whopping $120 million tax bill. You add both picks to that mix, and that number goes up to $175 million. You can see that number go right up there. The benefit is, though, they have 2 players on controllable contracts, 2 players on 4-year contracts. One will cost $17 million over the 4 years, the next $25 million. So the cost is high, but free agency for the Warriors starts the night of the draft.
That Warriors tax bill looks like Billis' home safe. Give me a bold prediction for the draft tomorrow night, Perk. What's going to happen? Bold prediction.
Bold prediction. You know what? I think that Moses Moody is going to go lottery, top 10. That's my bold prediction. I think he's going to go top 10. I don't know where he's going top 10.
I would say Davion Mitchell is going to fall out of the top 10, and someone eventually is going to get fired for that decision because that kid is an absolute stud.
I agree. I think I've got him ranked in the top 5. I think he's that good. I'll be really interested to see what happens with Jalen Johnson of Duke. How is it processed? He's a top 10 talent. I don't think he's going to go in the top 10. It reminds me a little bit different issue, like Michael Porter Jr. with his back. If somebody can grab him around 15, that's a steal.
All of those things coming up, those bold predictions, a draft eve staple. And now we know who's positive, Moses Moody going higher, and who's going to take us to negative town. Somebody's getting fired for making a bad pick. That's my good friend Mike Schmitz. I love how comfortable Mike Schmitz has become.
A virtual
big stars, where do they go? We'll see them. It'll start Pistons, Rockets, Cavs, Raptors on Thursday night. Many believe that 4 players have set themselves apart. Will it be Cade Cunningham will be on top? We'll talk about number 2. In fact, Mike Schmitz is virtually certain 4 players have set themselves apart.
Cade Cunningham is a bona fide number 1 overall prospect. He has the ability to score at all 3 levels, create for others, and has an unshakable confidence. His combination of overall skill at 6'8" gives him the upside of Luka Doncic. After Cunningham, though, the debate begins with who should be the 2nd overall pick. Could it be Jalen Green, an effortless scorer with elite athleticism who can take over any game? Or Evan Moby, whose blend of skill, feel, and two-way versatility makes him the ideal big man in today's NBA. And don't count out Jalen Suggs, the most exciting transition playmaker in the entire draft, with elite defensive toughness. While all these guys are great options, Jalen Green's star potential and dynamic scoring ability will be too hard to pass up at number 2.
And at number 2, it is the Houston Rockets, who reportedly said, what is this strange event in which people gather together and select basketball players? Because the Rockets haven't made a first-round pick in the NBA draft since 2015 when they took Sam Decker out of Wisconsin. But
I feel sorry for their loss.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
For $100, the last time the Rockets made a pick in the draft was 2018. This C-note is yours if you tell me who it is.
DeAnthony Melton of USC.
Good try. That's not right.
It's not right?
Anybody else?
You know what? I'm going to pass. I want the 100.
I know you do.
Yeah, my kids are expensive, but I'm going to pass on this one.
Vince Edwards out of Purdue. Bobby Marks, did you really know that? I don't believe it. Bobby Marks raised his hand over there. Bobby, I'll give you a 20.
Just buy me a piece of pizza later.
Is he right? Did he really? All right, I'll give him the money then. Billis knows I don't like giving him money away. All right, but the number 2 pick, Schmidt said in his virtual segment that he thought it was going to be Jalen Green from the G League. What do you think?
Well, Jalen Green would be that's the beauty of this draft. He would be a great pick because we've got 4 guys that could be taken number 1, and legitimately, I would lean at number 2 toward Evan Mobley of USC because he is a complete front court prospect. We talked about Cade Cunningham being complete overall. Evan Mobley is 7 feet tall. He's got a 7'4" wingspan. He's a magnificent, graceful athlete that can run the floor, that can get off the floor. He covers up the rim from 12 feet and in. He blocks about 3 shots per game. And his offense is pretty darn good. He's got a beautiful mechanics on his jumper. He's not yet a stretch 4, stretch 5, but I think he can be in time, and I think he's got just fantastic ability. But we can argue all day long. Whatever they do, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, nobody's going to argue with it. That's how good the top 4 are.
Well, I mean, being from Texas myself and a Texas boy, the Rockets fan base right now is looking for someone with swagger, right? You're looking for that LaMelo Ball. You're looking for someone to replace James Harden, and Jalen Green has that along with the game. You look at his smile, you look at his hair, the way he carries himself off the court. That's what they're looking for. He's so electrifying to watch, super athletic, reminds me a lot of Jaylen Brown a little bit, the way that his mannerisms and things to that nature. But other than that, I feel like this kid is a superstar in the making, and you can't go wrong with Evan Mobley, but I just feel like when you're looking for swagger, this kid has it all.
Rockets, I've made fun of them not participating, but any news with them? Have they made a decision? Would they move this pick? Is everything?
Well, listen, they're waiting for official word that Detroit's going to take Cade Cunningham, and I think Detroit is getting there, but they haven't fully gotten there yet. But certainly Jalen Green has been prominent in their conversations in Houston. They really are enamored with him, and listen, they're listening to teams. They have not received anything yet that's blown them away. And this is a draft where it's virtually impossible to trade into the top 3, probably even the top 4, because there are just, as these guys have alluded to all week and for months, 3 legitimate, probably number 1 overall picks. But Houston's going to keep listening up until the draft tomorrow night. But certainly I think right now Jalen Green is in the forefront of their conversations, but they've looked hard at Evan Mobley. They've looked hard at Jalen Suggs.
High-profile players have a choice to make now before they go into the NBA. Do they go to college or do they want to go into the G League? Jalen Green made that decision and is happy with it.
I decided to go to the G League because my ultimate goal is to get to the NBA. But the G League put us in a pro setting and learn how to become a professional on and off the court. I learned terminologies on the court. I learned how to handle my money. I learned how to get through adversity, highs and lows, especially in the bubble. We had like 15 games. It came fast. Overall, just learned a lot. The team that I played for was G League Ignite. The coach was Brian Shaw. B-Shaw is giving us a lot of advice. He would talk a lot about Kobe and how hard he worked, how much Larry Bird trash talked and how he backed it up, and just how much of a bully Shaq was. And he told me, take my game to the next level, my mentality to the next level.
Coach, you mentioned Brian Shaw, by the way, just took a job as an assistant with the Clippers. He won't be coaching Jalen Green next year because the Clippers picked 25th. He's going to be gone long before that. In fact, Green, since deleted, notice in this tweet.
Deleted?
Gone to college, different talk about who's going number 1. Said he loved the G League, prepared him ahead of a college move. You know, I said it earlier. I like the idea that guys want to be number 1, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been any different if he'd gone to college. These scouts see him in the G League. They see him all.
Let him have his moment, Bill.
Don't delete your
He deleted it.
Right. Don't delete it.
He deleted his moment.
There.
That's true.
Don't delete it. Keep it up there. Who cares?
Perk doesn't delete anything.
Never star, they hear my name and remember
Kaminga! Cleared for takeoff.
Just let the record show.
Book Knight swoops inside and scores.
Just let the record show.
Mitchell gets a 3.